But I wouldn't do that. It's not out there. What you need to find is inside El Biblioteca somewhere. Okay. On planet 5, take issue. And the fifth thing dies. Tissue. So the fifth issue of Atomic Bombardment Godzilla's Adventure 5.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
There we go. Once you've got the book, you can either bring it here to me, or just grab a different one. Why would I grab a different one? Ah, you found it. We solved blue clues. I found it.
Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rollo's Cipher Pen. Also called lemon juice. Probably it doesn't work with this kind of light, but we could also burn it and then we would see it. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for his purple light bulb. Parted with his entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, Roller. Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Get away with such a grift?
He continued flipping.
Only found in Grub. Grift in Grub. Card.
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it. Question. So if he vandalized the comic that belongs to El Biblioteca, wouldn't that make him pay for the damages? Grift in Grub card. Grift in Griffin's grub card. He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stack. Ah, brilliant. I guess you're off then? Good luck on the rest of your scavenger hunt. Thanks, Kato. Can I boop your nose? Hey, Jace. Still working through the newest Hank Atomic? You know it. Some fascinating canon toward the end. Did you know? Hank Atomic's shrink array doesn't technically shrink stuff. It uses inverse quantum particle decay. This is the beginning of the end. Whenever someone starts something with quantum, it all goes downhill. To literally grow the entire universe around an object. Yes, I expected it would go that way, but that's just no. Leaving that object unaltered. So it just looks shrunk compared to everything else? Bingo. That's wild. That's also unrealistic and stupid. But Chase, no spoilers please. Oh, right, sorry. just did spoil you. Can I boop your nose? Can I boop your nose? I really want to boop your nose. I enjoy booping noses. It's a fun activity to do. I do it to cats all the time. It's fun. Let me do it. Please. This is the worst game ever. I cannot boop noses. Let's be honest. Alone, the fact, the energy you would need to expand the entire universe. To shrink one object by not shrinking it wouldn't be possible. And it's stupid. It's far more easy to shrink the actual object. It's not bad, right? I still love doing this. And I got a second achievement for that. I love that you can spam it. It's great. For that, I give it an 8 out of 10. Griffin's cloud. I guess that's here on the left side. Is it? I don't know. It's not a drink card, is it? Griffin. Who was Griffin again? Who was Griffin again? Griffin. Go to Griffin's snack stand. What snack stand? Is this Griffin? Okay. Hey, Griffin. Did Rolo come by?
Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Oh, that's it. Bought and paid for you. Enjoy. Okay. I don't think... Is it? I mean, why? If this is all Rolo's doing, then why? This is like literally doing like... I always wanted a gift on my birthday. So I bought myself a present. And then I make you find it. And then you can give it to me. What? I thought you there was supposed to be a riddle or
Luca
something.
shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Yuck. I agree. It's cold. Oh yeah. It's been sitting here for a while. Rolo wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically. Wow. Well, that's
Luca
just...
tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Oh, come on.
He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
Pick up when you need some pep. Near the fountain, up the step.
Luca
the
finished
cafe.
off the remainder of the corn dog.
This is getting to be a whole thing. I think it's the cafe. It's the only thing with steps. There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. But Roller owes me one.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight? Bird has no wings. It's a falling body. I'm not done yet. The final task. A friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard. I have no words for this word because it can be taken in so many contexts and all the wrong ones. Ugh, I feel cheapened now, somehow. I think it's sweet. It's a balloon. Good luck. Good luck, Luca. Good luck, Luke. Good luck, Luca. This isn't even... Oh, I'm just standing here. Hee. Hey. Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yep. Well then. I know it doesn't make up for what I said. But here. You've earned this.
Rollo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Flight. You know, English is never easy, but I find it really funny and weird. Flee, flight. Thanks. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. Through all this trouble? I'm sorry, I got so mad. Dang it. You were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh no, let's fight about it. Oh, sorry. Now, you've apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. With everything that's happened with your mom and all. I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Roller. Still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. Correct? I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. ... Why are you saying ... Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rollo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Rolo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try find some info about your mom. Snoop? Where? We could probably sneak into the perennial harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait one more day. You know, I have been wanting to get some work done on the MCDC admission control. The aim's a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. Rolo, I was disappointed about your weapon. I expected a fully functioning laser, and it was nothing like that. Why did you do this to us? That's some balloon physics there. Excuse me while I go back in time. For no particular reason, and it doesn't
Luca
matter.
placed a sink sometime.
Okay. Hi, Dad. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
Let me give you a letter with explanations that are none. What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. And then they fell asleep. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward. But we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rolo.
Luca was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
Festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
What was that? Superman landed. Oh man, we missed the fireworks at daylight?
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
The universe is imploding. Goodbye.
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end.
I can get that. Thank you for coming to my stream. Goodbye. No, not really.
No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits. Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight.
Because I have wings and I can fly.
He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Taut. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. Would love to hear your thoughts. But I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine, we know where that leads them. This way, we'll make the tunnels. We'll take the tunnels and we make the tunnels before that. My dad always wanted me to be a dentist.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage.
I have a question. So they use this as a means to escape, but they don't wear gloves. Basically, their entire paw would be burned.
After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice.
Ice, ice, baby.
Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. Wait, this is our home. Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
is that bozo... It's that bozo cur. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Seems like the only dangerous things in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving. I mean, it looks like our home. Like just missing the house on the side there. This is also the same thing. This is the same arch. Cannot, yeah, it makes sense that the tree is gone. There's the welcome shield. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. I'm no scientist. Talk with me in normal numbers that I understand. I know this is probably pretty cold. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh, still within safe ranges. Might be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. So this game is gonna go the... I'm connecting to chat. Twitch be twitching? I'm still going, okay. So is this game gonna dip into dimensions? What's all this? Hard to say with all that snow. Or maybe I'm just blind. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be, except our own? It couldn't be another town this deep into Weepwood. I'm looking at the evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we are dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Well, in situations such as these, I'll find it best to chuck stuff first and ask questions second. We have nothing. Oh.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around? Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at, before. It was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Wait. Oh look, it's our town. This stuff looks familiar to you. This stuff looks familiar to you. Looks like the barrel near the puddle I, shoved me into, yeah.
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Looks like the stuff they put up around Weepwood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even gonna save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. You don't know that. You can just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
And die. I mean, if you don't move in cold. The way the snow covered everything over. It's kinda calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk will do. You didn't, right? Of course not. It's lying. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. Wow, he actually knows. Then again, most kids know what they are doing, being an asshole to other kids. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. Yes, he would understand if you just would talk normally to people about your problems. You and Roller are always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Why is everybody self-reflecting? Perfect little Luca Van Horn. With his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know? Yup.
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh. Must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. No! Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all of this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
No! Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see that inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. And then they died.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you?
Lovely. So we're getting into the mind's blocking out bad memories.
Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what are you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around, knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Huh? Oh, I see. So, you think you're better than me. Oh god, here we go, self-reflecting again.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-headed, scarfy neck, furball. Yeah, furball. Take that, furball. Okay, let's lower the temperature here a bit. A funny joke. Hee. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend? An observer? A hitchhiker to the galaxy on the infinite expanse of possibility? Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Well, very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are. You might also say that. Look, pal, you just wanna find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here, one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up!
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Ha! Spoiled myself.
For a brief
Okay,
moment,
open then.
Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold. Until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place. Cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Rebirth, or we teleported to some alternate universe. Or this is just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. But what if I wanted to have it gay to me? Just give it to me gay instead. Jokes aside. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. So it already happened. And we are just in another reality, dimension, possibility, whatever. We both grew up here. Or we are all dead. That is the other possibility. Oh my god, it's a Final Fantasy game. But the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. Virtual reality. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless. It's impossible. It's too much work. You would need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You would think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. A as for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. Revulsion is something you deny, I think. Welcome back, Davamir. Oh, okay. I get it. Something like that. Otherwise, remember when I told you about the clipboards invading the treehouse? They took the other choice, which was firing the entire thing into the woods where we escaped them and found ourselves here in this snow-driven path where we discovered that entire Beacon Pines is frozen. Well, basically that's what happened until here. Before that, we had the whole thing of Rolo doing a whole riddle-based apology extravaganza with us, where we then went back to the treehouse to hang out together. We apologized to each other and the friendship was saved. Except then something exploded and the entire treehouse froze instantly. And then I did the other choice in the treehouse, which then brought us here. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. Is this a bug? Did they actually miss to put in voice acting for this one sentence? So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. The source. The first thing my mind throws at me is like, remember Final Fantasy remake? And this one guy going like, I want the sauce. Why would you say the source like that? Why indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could.
He looked down at his feet. His eyes darted back and forth in contemplation. But with a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weep Woods. Through Weep Wood. I always say Weep Woods
Chapter
instead
6.
wood.
The Source. Nat
Source.
expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know.
I get it.
Lucas stopped dead in his tracks.
Nanomachines, son. It makes it all possible.
The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth.
As much as Senator Armstrong is wrong in some things, I still would vote for this guy because he is doing things and not just talking.
He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone.
It's the roots of the tree. The tree itself is gone.
A dry whisper escaped Lucas' lips.
You're here. All this time, I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk? There's only one direction you can walk.
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Lucas' eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We basically shot words blah. Let me look up the word because I just forgot, despite that I know this word absolutely without fail, except for now. So we shot a rope to the side of the treehouse, which basically led us down, but like down into the woods. And we landed in a snow-covered area, which was basically the screen where our house was usually, but everything was in snow. Everything was snowed over. The house was missing. That was the first screen we saw. Like they went literally from greenwoods to snowfield. There was no actual real blackout. They just stumbled downhill and got up in that snowy field. The thing is, we are here, and this is Beacon Pines, the original Beacon Pines. And it hasn't exactly been explained by Nat yet, but I assume from what he said so far, this Beacon Pines that we experienced from the beginning is just like a virtual reality, or at least something that our mind makes up. That's why there's like a perfect replica from one to another, but we don't know exactly what is going on. This is just my assumption from what Nat has said so far. Before that, I was like, could be an alternate reality or something like that. But because he started to talk about, yeah, the mind and your brain is really good at at creating things to the smallest details and so on. We don't know. It's just an assumption from what he said, what I think about this, but I don't know what is exactly going on. We gotta hide. $259 Kelvin. Fall off distance still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who loved them will never know the truth. Truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey, don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Weirdo. Yeah, I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover? Who ya helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at ya, acting like horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Kerr and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to that precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And what if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Definitely better to live in a ton copy instead of this frozen hole. Town. Yes, but we don't know yet why that even happened and what's going on, so... But yeah, let's call it the Matrix principle. It's like, is it better to know the actual truth, or is it better to live a normal life? It can get awful cold out there, in those words, Luca. Probably the best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rolo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh heavens, no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Oh, shucks, now that hurts my feelings. I mean, I'm a hyena with one of the most awful teeth in the animal kingdom. I can, like, crunch through bones. It's really fun. Screw that guy. Mayhaps, mayhaps. See, this is basically... Our house would be standing here, but there's nothing. Here's our welcome sign. Oh. Yeah. Whee! Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So, a few years back when I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecrackers stuff they give kids. The good stuff. The one you can, like, sniff through your nose. Wait. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rolo were doing chores at Rolo's chicken coop. And you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
Yay, it was him. No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Look, the thing is, you can blame this kid, but then again, kids do stupid things. You should be more worried about actual adults doing the same dumb shit and think like they knew. It's more like parents going like, "Hey kid, I made fireworks on my own. I have no idea what I did, but let's fire them up." And then they end up in hospital or worse. That's far more terrible. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Rolo got grounded for months. Which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried them under the tree. But when I came back for them later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and tossed them.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast off, loser. That's new. Mr. Anderson. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. Crooked. And the children, they stayed away at home as the crooked man came for them with his crooked legs and his crooked arms. I'm still kind of sad that they're not gonna make a movie about it. Maybe do anything except for that. Crooked man. Woo, so scary.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo, 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 echo. Whoa. I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. The source. This is the source? It's a dang hole. How do we smash a hole? Oh god, all... Oh. Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr. Where's Rolo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two at last. At least. English. Drats. It's cold. Well, you're walking around in that. You crazy bastard. Also, I'm curious. Where's my mouse? Can I have my mouse, please? Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. There we go. 259 Kelvin to C. So currently in this place there is a minus 14.15 degrees Celsius. Lovely. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
Really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Don't say that. Consider the circumstances, okay? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source where they collected the unrefined, fairy powers.
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh heavens no, my role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happens to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. In Romeo and Juliet. Possibility. And you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not gonna be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Oh, can I do premonition? Yeah, can I spoil myself? I'm so good. I did this before. Scene change. Oh no, they're gonna attack us with questions and clipboards, and they note down things. Social anxiety hitting me hard. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
It seems like a terrible idea. Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. That's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What? Like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Oh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy
Oh,
tried
no.
to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side.
What could I ever do? Oh yes, let's push us all in.
Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. How? What channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards would just haul us up and snag us both. The only way to get out of this is if it carries out the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr, with
Jesus, kid. Long life? I'll have you know, I can still play 25. I'll take this scene and I will turn back time, back to medieval times, and go like, you had a long life. You should let go. I mean, let's face it, in the absolute best case, you will have 5 more years to go before you will inevitably die. Isn't it kinda sad that in the past that was a normal thing? Like when people had a life expectation of 30 years at best. And then, can you blame modern times where you have now people getting over 100? Amazing what healthcare can do, and other things. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Dum dum dum. Diddy dum dum. Wow, can you believe this guy? Hum.
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Grr, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loose in his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. 2 birds with 1 stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Luca had no choice but to shit Iggy's request. I'm sorry.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The 2 silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Iggy. I'm just curious, how does the firework even go off? There's no fire source to, like, light them up. It's hell of a party down there. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquamine is a peculiar substance. Time liquid? Liquidamine? It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and fireworks made the whole freeze over. That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
We experienced it. It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn. You are going to save the world. No
With a
pressure.
chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in
The next game.
Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
Love it. I love it how I just called this and the game is doing it on its own. Oh. They even did the double the Roman 2 for Pines. Pines harder.
Revenge served cold.
Revenge served cold.
Second time's a charm?
Wait.
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels.
Oh, come on. Scream loved its sequels.
Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Revenge is served cold. Oh well. Well. Let's see.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, you can meet Rolo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rolo I would tell him about.
Luca stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promised him you would tell him what? Spit it out, Bob. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a if there's a juicy secret, you've got to tell me. Oh, it's all furries all over again. Well, it's not really fourth wall breaking if the story writer makes just jokes about the story, which has like no direct connection to the story. In the sense they wrote the story, but they are not a being in this world of the story itself, so they don't have a direct connection. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. And this is going where we're gonna continue the next time. Oh yeah.